Oh my God, you guys. In preparation for this upcoming press conference, I was watching a little bit of Brian Entin because he just dropped this video. And you guys, oh my God. When Ahmed Belloso said that Jay Caro had confessed, Ahmed Belloso from Andatira was actually accurate. Brian Entin just said that a couple of his sources told him that Jay Caro told a fake inmate in jail what he actually did to this baby. Now, this fake inmate, I guess, is part of what they call a Perkins operation, which is basically like somebody undercover. It could be an inmate or an officer that is basically just kind of talking to you, and they're actually working for, law enforcement, and they're getting that information and passing it out to them for the purposes of the case. Apparently, Jay Caro told this Perkins person, officer, inmate, whatever, that he actually K'd baby Emmanuel, right? And put baby Emmanuel in a trash bin at his house, right? So, which I have a lot of questions about. Are they going to look at the landfills? What are they going to do with this? Because at the very least, believe it or not, landfills would be like a controlled space. They can actually get to that place and bring cadaver dogs, and even with a landfill, cadaver dog can scope out a body, right? So apparently this is what Jay Caro told an inmate.
That Jay Caro told a fake inmate in the jail that he killed baby Emmanuel and put the baby in a trash can in his house. You might be wondering how police got this information. This is part of what I'm told is called a Perkins operation.
Apparently, according to Brian Entin, they got this Perkins confession after Jake had confessed to police that he had rolled over the baby and K'd the baby while rolling over the baby, right? So when Ahmed Belloso from Andatira was out there saying that Jay Caro had confessed, I don't think he was lying. I actually think he maybe got this information from law enforcement, just like Brian Entin did right now. And he was on it. He was actually saying the truth about what actually happened. The thing is, though, is that to me, it makes sense that Jay Caro would use a story like that, right? Like a fake I rolled over the baby story. To kind of maybe gain some sympathy about, maybe he didn't know what to do. And maybe if he gave this like awful story about rolling over this baby, that somehow it would allow him some level of like sympathy from officers, right? This is just horrific because even though we all saw it, even though they were out there, they took Jake out there, to see, hopefully let him know where they might have placed this baby. But even hearing Brian Entin talk about this and in his video drop today, it just makes me wonder that like this guy is just playing games with people. Now, apparently, according to Brian Entin, and I mean, this is, Brian Entin has a lot of sources and stuff like that. Apparently, he might have K'd baby Emmanuel and he might have put this baby in the trash 3 weeks ago. Sounds like a good solid month, which if baby Emmanuel has not been seen for a month, makes sense with the timeline. So Rebecca Haro and Jay Caro might have not had this baby for quite some time. This baby might have been gone for quite some time. A lot of people are guesstimating that it's been a good 2 months. I honestly think it's anywhere from 1 to 2 months at this point. And it makes sense, like, honestly, like, because we don't have any sources. Now, at the same time, I'm also hearing that this baby could have been seen at a Costco and stuff like that weeks before the so-called disappearance. At this point, I'm like, I'm gonna need some footage. I'm gonna need something. I was watching Fat and Opinionated, right? Cinema Shogun, and he was even talking about this, the timeline that they were posting on the charging document and stuff like that, whether there was a level of accuracy, because the reality is that we have different things kind of going on. But with Brian Entin saying that, they're thinking that, this baby was put in the trash 3 weeks ago. Damn, like 3 weeks ago in a landfill is a little bit different than a week ago. I mean, timing is everything when it comes to a situation like this. Now, could he have said 3 weeks ago to this Perkins officer or whatever, and then said something different to law enforcement that he rolled over the baby and then buried the baby out in the field? Like that's it's just so crazy, man. First of all, we know that Jake Caro can lie to cover his ass. We know, because I mean, he's done it before. He did it in that, 2018 case where he nearly K'd, a 10-week-old baby. It's just so crazy to me because, oh my goodness. And then we got some more clarification, guys, that the DA at the time in that 2018 case, that DA wasn't for this man getting the sweetheart deal. The judge that was presiding over that case gave him that deal. It's just so crazy how the judicial system works, man. It's just like sometimes it feels like, there's something tragic or history has to repeat itself for people to pay attention to things like this. And now this guy is getting a voice. Like Rebecca Haro and Jake are in the same courtroom, which they shouldn't be. They should not be in the same courtroom, right? And she's looking over to see her man, and trying to decide when, she should have a court date and signaling, like getting some level of permission. This is just so crazy to me. And it just makes me feel some type of way. But I will say that I did feel a level of win yesterday when, at the very least, they were charged. And it doesn't look like they're going to be able to make bail. I mean, $1 million each, 10% of that each, 100,000. Nobody's got that kind of money laying down. And if they do, then I'm kind of wondering where it's coming from. And I would have to side-eye the situation. I'm just saying, because in this economy, things are crazy, especially in Cali. Now, here's the other question that I have. This Perkins operation, was it also done with Rebecca? Or was it specifically done with Jake because they're like, this guy's an idiot and he definitely looks like he would, it would be easy to kind of get him to spill the beans. To me, Rebecca looks like she's going to stick to her guns, to her story and stuff like that. I mean, she definitely gave that. Unless she gets some time behind bars and then realizes just how crazy this situation and how long could she also be behind bars, right? If convicted and found guilty, because at the end of the day, they still have to go to trial. But did they at least try this operation with her? I don't know, man. I mean, like I said, Jake Caro gives me like, he's just kind of like a, the idiot, right? He's just an idiot. Kind of like an idiot man-child type of deal. He gives me that impression. I hate to put that out there, but it's the truth. So I do wonder if they looked at Rebecca or if they tried to kind of like do the bad cop, good cop with her to try to get to go, to say something. The sad part is that, I mean, Rebecca did the acting in the disappearance, right? In the video, in the press conference, she did the acting. She did the, my baby's gone, the hola, all this ish, right? She did that. So I'm more inclined to believe that Rebecca would stick to just lying and being deceitful to protect Jake Haro. And that she's done that. The other theory that I kind of have, right? Because they said that there was an active investigation, right, with CPS that was open, or they were figuring out and it was related to Emmanuel Haro. A lot of us are speculating that it's also related to that 2-year-old as well. I do wonder if Jake and Rebecca were basically being pressured by CPS to show their 7-month-old and they couldn't figure it out. So what did they do? They came up with some bogus story when this baby had already passed away. Something about, clearly we know that there's a connection to CPS and this active investigation and the unalivement of Emmanuel Haro. There's a connection there, and we figured this out. But again, I suggest you guys watch Brian Entin and let me know what you guys think, because he just dropped this bombshell today. Guys, let me know what you guys think in the comments about Brian Entin's, commentary over the situation. We're going to be live later. I will see you guys in a little while because, I just had to do this quick video and let you guys know my thoughts. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.